Hey guys, MaddieJK here, and this is no joke. So today is my first story time of sorts. I'm really excited about this. I've been going back and forth for a while now on what I wanted to cover, what's fun to tell. Then I realized that I should start with a topic that might introduce myself a bit more. So after figuring that, I decided that we're going to be hitting on a topic that is a bit bittersweet with me, and that is, well, fandoms. Now, I will say right now that if you're in a fandom, great, awesome. I hope you're enjoying it, and you should. This is really just my experience and me explaining why I personally no longer associate with any fandom. Now, story time. When I was 13, I discovered anime. I was obsessed, especially with the anime Bleach. I loved the art style, I loved the characters, I liked the plot for the most part. It was Bleach that really got me into drawing, and I was quickly indoctrinated into the fandom. However, I only stayed within the DeviantArt section of the fandom. I never understood Tumblr or Twitter, so I just stayed within the area I understood. Honestly, I think it was because of the Bleach fandom that I found DeviantArt. It was around then that I created my first OC, or original character, named... Oh my god, even looking at this name, I cringe. Okay. Her name was Mariah Yatamori. Oh god. She was something, alright. Now, at the time, I was so proud of this character. Prior to her, I hadn't really ever created a character that had a very developed personality, a background, anything. And I will say, she as a character wasn't awful in terms of personality, at least when it came to her fan fiction. Yes, I read a fan fiction. I was one of those children. Yeah, her fan fiction, MSAA, was where her real personality came out as I wrote more. She was kinda a general 14-year-old with the good and bad traits and all that jazz. Honestly, I loved her with all my heart. However, she did have some major fallouts, the main one being her powers. Holy shit, her powers were so OP, she made Ichigo look like an average character. Her powers were based on the Zodiac, she had 12 weapon types, she was a captain of her own squad, she could flash step faster than those in the manga, she had a hollow named Davina, etc, etc. On top of that, she had these powers I called TP abilities. All the Soul Reapers in her squad had them, but Mariah was the BAMF of the group, being an expert in all of them, which were the abilities to go invisible, use certain types of Keto that normal Soul Reapers can't, and literally the ability to stop time. Yeah, stopping time. I was 13, fam, please don't kill me. Now, in the actual fanfiction, I never actually went into all these powers. Honestly, even I didn't fully understand her powers. I didn't know about a lot of the weapons. I don't even know if I assigned every weapon a sign or anything like that. I was more making crap up as I went because I set up my Bleach fanfiction as a prequel to the actual manga storyline. Everything I was writing was shit I made up, except for, of course, the canon characters and the world and whatnot. But yeah, I created my own bad guys, there was a huge arc with other characters, I was honestly very proud of it. And of course, that caused me to share more of the characters on DA. And you know what? It was a blast! I made a lot of friends in the group, I had a ton of art done of Mariah and her pairing with Toshiro. Yes, I was also one of those people. It was fantastic and really boosted my effort into bettering my art. Honestly, if it hadn't been for the Bleach fandom or Mariah, I probably wouldn't have been able to draw as well as I can today. It pushed me to continue to better myself. Not to mention, Mariah herself really helped me in real life. At the time, I was in middle school, and honestly, middle school was hell for me. I lost a lot of my friends from elementary school. Puberty hit me as hard as possible, and I became basically a pair for a while. I was really lonely, I became depressed, it was overall a bad time. Mariah became an outlet for me, the kind of person I wanted to be. I wanted to be pretty, I wanted to be liked and confident. I tried to model my confidence after hers, her kindness, and her other positive traits. In a way, she built me up, and eventually I made friends and became happier because of it all. Flash forward 3 years, and now being about 16, I was a decently known name in the DA Bleach fandom. Mariah was recognizable to a good chunk of the community, as was her pairing. Through the years, I'd gotten some criticism from Mariah, some I reacted to maturely, such as changing parts of her design, while others I didn't really listen to, because I saw it as something more I was doing for myself for fun, or I didn't agree with it because it was important to her fanfiction, or was just a non-issue. I was the kind of writer that saw fanfictions as a writer taking a world and characters they love and doing something new with them. I didn't see a reason for constraining yourself to certain rules. Since it's a fan fiction, there's a very unlikely chance you're going to be like 50 Shades of Grey lady and have your fan fiction published. It was solely for fun in my eyes, and I didn't see the point in getting hung up in details I didn't think were important, especially when it was brought up by people who hadn't actually read my fan fiction. Of course, I didn't really help myself because of the two things. One, some things in the very beginning I overreacted to, and I contributed that to just being young and just not knowing how to react, much less in a mature way. By the time I was 16, I was okay at responding to criticism. The second thing is that I have always been very bad at explaining my characters. The bios I did for Mariah were god-awful. I didn't know how to explain her personality, I didn't know how to explain her powers, I was shit at talking about her life. It was just poorly explained, poorly written, and of course that reflected on Mariah. It made her appear very flat, very OP, which honestly I will admit she kind of was, and totally washed out any personality that she does have in the fanfiction. This was pointed out to me numerous times, but because I knew what she was actually like, I kind of ignored it. Then everything changed. So I got a comment one day on one of my drawings of Mariah, and it basically said, "Yo, just wanted to let you know, this chick on Tumblr did a review of your OC, and it's not pretty, dude." Along with the link to said review. I was kinda worried, but I was more curious. This was before Tumblr had really gotten the rep of being toxic when it came to fandoms and OCs, so I really didn't know what to expect. Oh boy, was I not prepared. So this Tumblr user, who I am not going to show because they haven't really been active since my review is done, and that was about 6 years ago, so I really don't see the point in doing so. Normally did reviews that if you put them into a Word document would be about 2 to 3 pages if you took out all the damn GIFs. Seriously, this person had a hard-on for GIFs, like there's one after every paragraph, basically. Mariah's was 6 parts. I'm talking over 20 pages of this person just ripping into Mariah, GIFs and all. They ripped into her design, they ripped into her backstory, they ripped into her powers. Oh, they had a field day with her powers. They burned everything with as much grace as a fucking elephant. Now, I, being a 16-year-old who'd never faced a lot of criticism, was mortified. I could hardly get through everything this person wrote. I did my best to read it as an objective criticism of my character, as much as it hurt me to read what this person said about her. And then I got to the 6th part. In part 6, they literally threw Mariah out the window and just started attacking me as a person. They went to my DA page where I had this really stupid Q&A thing under my profile and went through every damn question and just said horrible things about my hobbies, my interests, my future dreams, all of it. They went so far on one part in the Q&A where I said I would like to sing and would love to be a singer to just say, "Unless you have evidence you can sing, you should shut up," or something along those lines. At that point, they were just attacking me. They called me racist, they called me a bitch, they said at different places, "You can't write your way out of a paper bag, your art is awful," and said that I would never get into a university animation program. And then went in that I would never work in animation. much less could become a voice actor, that I probably can't sing, and then literally said, "You should honestly just stop making art because you're going nowhere." I was in shock. At that point, I was crying my eyes out. I felt horrible. I felt like everything I had been able to build up was just destroyed in front of my eyes. I read comments that applauded this person, and I only felt worse. I even had a personal crisis because, as I mentioned, I took after Mariah, and now I'm being told she's disgusting. I mean, what did that say about my personality then? What was I? I went on to DA and I kind of broke down through like 3 journals. I didn't know what to say, how to react, any of it. A week later, I went back to the person's Tumblr and responded once I was calmer, kinda, sorta, saying that I do agree with some of the things that I said about Mariah. I don't believe I said anything about what they were said about me personally because I think I was just scared of them at that point. And I just said that I wanted to improve her. That was mainly because at that point I felt like everyone thought I was inept, and I wanted to prove I was capable of creating a good character. The person responded and was kind of an ass, not that I should have been surprised considering, but did talk through some points more maturely that I should work on. Over the next month or so, I completely rebuilt Mariah as a new character. She became Mine Yamazaki. She wasn't super powerful. She only had 1 weapon. I completely redesigned her. I rewrote her backstory completely. Her personality changed. And everyone loved her. I got a crap ton of praise for her. Even the Tumblr person who wrote in another post said that she was so proud and loved the redesign. I hated her. I had literally no emotional connection to this character. It was soon after I felt even worse because I realized I had just thrown this character that meant the world to me and had boosted my confidence and grown my talent as an artist just so people would like me, just so people who'd I never met in real life could approve of me. None of them knew how much Mariah had helped me overcome my personal struggles. She was just a picture on the screen that didn't fit their opinions. It wasn't long that people noticed that I was no longer very active on DA. I stopped posting drawings, I stopped NERPs, I stopped responding to comments, notes, anything. My fanfiction stalled and never updated. Within a month, I had left the fandom completely. Mariah had been my main driving reason for even being there. I had no desire to do anything with Monet. I had proved my point that I could fit into their box and saw no future with what I had left. I even dropped off watching anime after that. Now, of course, unlike what the Tumblr person said, I didn't stop drawing. When I left the fandom, it opened my opportunity to an area I'd not given a lot of attention: original stories. I started focusing my efforts into a story I'd only really built a skeleton of at that point. It was named Lapis. I had freedom in this world because, unlike MSAA, it was my world. These were my characters. And I found myself attaching myself to a new character. This time a 20-year-old man named, oh god, I'll put this on screen, Izagoro Jintez. Yeah, my name's got no better, forgive me. But then I found myself loving him as a person, and then suddenly Maggie, his love interest, was created. Then Sammy, then Scent. I went from having nothing after Mariah was demolished to suddenly having 4 new main characters who were so much more well-rounded and real, and their world exploded into numerous characters, a more diverse storyline, a more developed world, and it was all mine. I created everything. I started writing the story as a novel, and then I posted chapters on a website. I was scared because of what had been said by the Tumblr person. I believed that people would be very critical of my work. But people loved Lapis. They loved Izagoro. They loved my world. They loved something I created. Eventually, I went back and reread the review of Mariah. It'd been years by that point, about 4. As I read it again, I got upset. Not as a creator, but as a mature artist now in college who had experience, who'd been taught and had developed. Now, I understand people love mean humor. I get it. I watch people on YouTube who will take jabs at people they're commenting on. Ponder Sprocket is great at it. Watch her shit, she's wonderful. However, this was different. This wasn't just mean, this was attacking. The person brought up points that I, at 16, didn't fully understand. I didn't really get world building, I didn't really know what character development entailed, any of it. I hadn't really been taught any of that yet. MSAA was just kind of me messing around and learning things as I went. Of course, I now agree with a lot of the things that this person was saying in terms of Mariah, but this person decided to go at an angle that was much more negative than positive. Then I got to part 6 again. Rereading it, I realized this person was one of the most pettiest assholes I've ever encountered on the internet. Go after the character. Go after the faults that the creator has made in making that character. But there is no need to attack a young artist for dumb shit like they put, "I like to sing," on their damn DeviantArt profile. Like, that actually annoyed me the most out of everything. Like, seriously, you wrote a full damn paragraph complaining about this one thing, which has absolutely nothing to do with what you're supposed to be talking about? Are you for real? By the way, if you really want evidence, there is no sweeter innocence than our gentle sin in the madness and joy of that earthly thing. There you go. Also, this person inferred that they were an animation student. They inferred that they were an adult, maybe in their 20s. How could an adult think that telling a young artist they're horrible, racist, a bitch, and that they could never accomplish any things in their lives would make them want to continue making art, much less want to try and improve their art? If I didn't have my other stories, much less was I a stubborn person, I would have just given up on my art right then and there. I mean, most young artists probably would have just dropped everything. And it's sick to me that an older artist would say such disgusting things, probably only to get more reactions from their audience, who are probably minors themselves that aren't mature enough to understand what is being said. It only strokes their ego, nothing else. Now, mean humor only goes so far before it crosses the line into basically bullying. Mean humor works when you still have something constructive to say alongside it, which is why the main review of Mariah didn't really stay with me. While harsh and a bit much in places, they still did point out problems. But that was really it, and that is the main issue. Reviews like this person's are not constructive. They didn't really point out positives, they didn't really say how to change anything. The person who said such disgusting things to me didn't teach me anything in the 6-part review they did. I already had the knowledge to create Minnie. This person just destroyed any desire I had to be involved in fandoms, to be involved in groups, period. They just degraded my character and then my actual character as a person. So yeah, that's the really long story of my bad experience that caused me to leave behind fandoms. So sorry that was way long, but I thought I needed to explain a lot of it for it to make sense. It just kind of sucked in general. I only really talked to one person from my Bleach fandom days, and she's great. Go love her. She deserves it. But part of me is glad I left, because it was then that I was able to move on to my own projects. But I guess in the end, I was able to prove that person wrong. My writing improved, my stories improved, my art improved, and I'm now a senior in an accredited animation program. So if you want to take anything away from my bad experience, just know that no one knows your talents or abilities better than you. Be open to criticism, but always keep in mind that no one can ever tell you what you can be. They can give you suggestions, they can tell you their opinions, they can even give you advice, but no one has the right to tell you what you cannot become. So yeah, that's the end of my minor tirade. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, comment, all the good stuff, and I will be doing my best to get out more videos in the near future. I have a few ideas already thought out, but if you have any topics or even speed paint ideas, be sure to leave them below and I may just do them. Also, follow me on all my social media. I have a new webcomic that I'll be publishing at the beginning of the new year, and I'm super excited. I post updates for that and other drawings all over, so I hope to see you guys over on those. With that, I'm gonna head out. See yous!